My name is Robert Vasquez, and this is going to be my explanation video on model test and validation. To get started, so first you want to go ahead and generate a model, and we're going to call this model inventory, and we're going to add its attributes. Since it's going to be inventory, we're going to take a weekday, so basically Monday, Tuesday, etc. A box type, the beginning inventory, like how much boxes we received. How much boxes we had at the beginning, how many boxes that we received, and the total of boxes, and at the end, how many boxes we have. When I worked at Little Caesars, this is kind of basically the inventory we had to do for the pizza boxes. Okay, and now we want to go ahead and see the data. And okay, so now we want to go ahead and create for a models class, including migration to test fixture. So I'll create a fixture. So we want to go ahead and we already generate. So you gotta go to test fixture. So we gotta open Fixture Studio Code. Okay, so we want to go ahead and go to test and fixtures, and here's our file. And let's just put in some data. So basically, this is just the data from how I said from Little Caesars. This is kind of how we wrote it out, but on their piece of paper. So I'm just gonna take it from there. So on Monday, the box we're counting is the deep dish boxes. And at the beginning of the day, there were 28 boxes left. And Monday is when we received our inventory, so we got 150 boxes. So the total is 178. And by the end of the day, we had 124 boxes left. And on Friday, the box type is the large. And at the beginning, we have 1,265. And Friday, we didn't get our boxes, our trucks, so we leave that blank. So the total is 1,165. And by the end of the day, we had 998 boxes left. And we're going to go ahead and save it. And we're going to do the test. So you want to go ahead and go test models inventory. And we just go ahead and delete all that. Okay, so this would be a test. Let's make sure the fixtures are valid. Do. Okay. So we want to go ahead and we set inventory. So it's going to be the name of this file right here. So inventories. So inventories dot each do, and we can name it anything. So we would just name it R for request. And okay, so now we do assert. Basically, I assume that R is valid. And in case it's not, we want to go ahead and make it give us the error message and full, or that errors full messages, just so we know what's going on and we could easily fix it. And save. Now let's test it. And by testing, we do Rails test -b. And so we did the 2 fixtures for the models. A model test that verifies the fixtures that are valid. That's what we just did. Now we need a model elision to prevent invalid data from being saved. Validation. Catching value is supposed to, okay. So we gotta add one, at least one of the attributes must not be blank. Okay, so we see our validation is good. We have 2 assertions because we have 2 fixtures, so it ran twice. And now we are going to go ahead and make sure that at least one attribute must not be blank. Okay. So to do that, we have to go to App, Models, Inventories. And right here, we're going to do Validate. And the weekday has to be present. Present. True. And so we want to go ahead and add our test to it. There we go. I forgot to save it. Save. Okay. So test weekday must be present into. So I go ahead and do weekday equals r dot, and we needed to test one fixture and it's not done. My bad. Okay. And then go ahead and do weekday dot title equals blank. And assert not. So we assume this is not valid. Weekday not valid. Okay, so we assume this is not valid. Go ahead and save it. And now we test it. And we have it error undefined method R. Weekday must be present, so we go here. Second about that. Okay. I see where I went wrong. Okay. So it's R equals. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, it's R equals inventory inventories they're not R no yes okay R equals inventories 1 and then R dot weekday and they're not R dot value. Okay, that should work. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so it works just fine since both of them are green. And now we need one of the string attributes must have only values that come from a fixed list of possible values. So we do inclusion. And we go back to app models. Hold on, this one. And we go ahead. Okay. We do validate. We're gonna do we should do weekday. But we could also do box type. So let's do box type. Box type inclusion in. And so we have deep dish, large, EMB, and small. Okay. And now we save it. And we want to create a test. Okay, so we do a test. Box type must be from approved list. Do. And so you want to go ahead and do R equals, basically this one, we're just going to copy. It's basically the same thing, we're just going to copy and paste all this. Just for the sake of saving time. So R dot inventory, so we're going to test fixture 1. R dot box type equals, now give it something that's not from the list. So let's say something like extra large. And so we assume that this is not valid and we want to save it and we test it. Okay, and now for the last one of the integer attributes must be greater than the other. So we want to go ahead and do custom validation, where we go here. We make our own. So let's do total must be greater than ending inventory. So we're going to do if I think it will be if total is greater than end inventory. Do something. So anyway, so you want to go ahead. Okay. So we're gonna do it. Ending inventory is greater than total. We do error. Okay, we do error dot add and inventory must be greater than total. Control save. So now we add a test. Nope. I forgot. We gotta validate it. Validate with no S. There you go. Okay. Control save. Now test. Total greater total must be greater than ending inventory. Okay. Ardent total and R dot and an inventory. So total must be greater. So let's say total is 200 and inventory is 500. So I believe these to be false. So I'm not sure that this is not valid. And, okay. And now we run it. And we got an error. Okay. Syntax error, unexpected, and okay. Test and test and test and test and this one is save. Test it again. Okay, from test mode, test models, inventory, syntax error, unexpected, and test models, inventory, test models, this one. Okay, I forgot to do. Save. And we got our green, 5 assertions, 4 runs. So see, we completed everything. Has 2 fixtures. The model test that verifies the fixtures are all valid. Validation to prevent invalid data from being saved to the database. For each other model validation, model test verifies the validation. And we did all that. And that is how you test your model and validates. Okay. I forgot.